It's hard work, isn't it? Give me a thumbs up if you know what I mean. And if you don't know what I mean, give me a thumbs up anyway, because it's all hard work. Everything's hard work. Life is hard work when you live with a disability. I don't think there's any aspect that you think, oh, yeah, that's easy, because it's not. Filling out forms, advocating for ourselves, trying to get people to believe us, getting the right equipment, getting the right medical care, getting the right medication. Need I go on? I don't think so. Every aspect of our lives is hard work. So in this video, I thought it would be great to discuss some of the things, some of the hacks that I've sort of come up with, or the ways in which I have chosen to live my life, man. To make my life just that little bit more easier. So I'm going to discuss some of the things that I do and I've developed or I bought to make my life easier. And then I've also opened it up to the community over on Instagram, and they have shared some of their tips and hacks and ideas on what they do to make their life easier as well. So I really hope that you find this video useful. If you do, make sure to share it across your social medias, because that way we can share it with the rest of the community. So let's get on with this. So the first one, it may sound really boring and super uncool, but plan your day as much as possible. I have found if I plan out my day, or I plan where I'm going, and I've got everything in place, then it makes my life a lot easier. Which leads on to another one, is to research where you're going. I know it doesn't sound cool and spontaneous, like, yeah man, let's just jump in the car and like hop on a ferry to France, you know, when we could do those things. It's just very hard as a disabled person to be like carefree and like, woo. But you can secretly plan so people think you're really cool and spontaneous. You don't have to tell anyone this stuff. But yeah, I do find that if I plan and I know where I'm going, it makes life a whole lot easier. Check out for toilets, check out the accessibility, phone ahead, speak to people online within the community if they've been there. Planning ahead have found to work really well for me, which leads really nicely onto my next one, and that is to give yourself loads of time. I would rather turn up to somewhere half an hour early than half an hour late. I hate being late. I find that if I'm in a rush or I'm running late for somewhere, that is when I can cause injury to myself. I get frustrated. I've got a very dyslexic brain, so it's very jumbled, and I get very stressed and a bit panicky about it. It takes me like 4 times longer to get into the car and out of the car than a non-disabled person, so I've got to allow time for that. I've got to allow time for getting all ready to go out the door and then think, oh god, I need a wee. So you know what it's like. So if I give myself like loads and loads of time, it makes my life a lot easier and a lot less stressful where possible. And another thing I try and do is I check ahead and see what the weather's doing. Very unpredictable here in the UK, but if I know it's going to be a nice sunny day, that is the day I'll choose to go out and do my errands, or go somewhere, or do something. Life is a lot harder in the cold and the rain. We have a new addition to this household, and you may not have seen her, and you may not have heard her, but I'll let her introduce herself to you. But she's not plugged in. What a fail! I, for Christmas, got a Google Assistant. Oh look, here she is. My new friend. I've wanted one of these for ages. I use Siri all the time, but the Google Assistant is a lot better and a lot more reliable than Siri, and can hear my voice a lot better. Absolutely love my smart speaker. She can be a Google or an Alexa. I chose Google because we've got Chromecasts all over the house, and I use her. Hey Google, set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes, and we're starting now.
Google, how do you spell necessary?
Necessary is spelled N-E.
Hey Google, remind me at 2 o'clock to take my medication.
Sure, I'll remind you at 2 p.m.
Google, how tall is the Queen?
Elizabeth II is 1.63 metres tall.
Hey Google, what's the weather in London today?
Today in London, there will be snow.
I absolutely love her, and I have heard a lot of people within the disability community absolutely loving their smart speakers, whether it's Alexa or Google. This I was really lucky to get from my parents as a gift for Christmas. I cannot recommend it highly enough. This is a Bose. If you love deep, rich, clear, velvety tones to your music, this is absolutely beautiful. I have been so jealous of my dad's one, and they surprised me for Christmas and I absolutely love it. I can put all my music on there and play the radio as well. So when I'm working and editing, I can listen to music, and also I can take it around with me. I absolutely love it. One of the last ones that has made my life so much easier and opened my world up, and I know you're probably sick to death of hearing it, but it is my Batek. It has honestly changed my life. I'm not going to bore you because I know I've gone on about it heaps in other videos, so yeah, feel free to go and check those out. But it has really made my life a lot easier. And looking through some of the comments on Instagram, some of you were saying your eFix wheel, are they called eFix wheels? The electric wheels? eFix wheels, or a power scooter, or a smart drive has really changed your quality of life and made it a lot easier for you. Let's move on to some of your little tips, tricks and hacks as to what you've done to help make your life a bit easier. Okay, this is a great one, and when Sean was working, I do try and do this myself, but batch cooking, so you can put meals in the freezer, or even just buying sort of ready meals. They are a godsend. And you know, lots of people were saying, oh no, I'm not going to do takeaway January or whatever it was called, or I'm going to cut down on my takeaways. But sometimes you just want to order your McDonald's on the old apps, don't you? And then just magically it appears. Some Friday nights I have been so tired and so low in spoon, I can't function. And to be able just to press in my order and for it to just magically appear, it's worth the money, I swear. And I don't think we should feel shame in ordering takeaways. You know, as long as you're sensible, everything in moderation, if it's there to help you and it helps, just take that pressure off and eliminate that problem. This is one I do as well, is I have medication everywhere. So I've got my medication downstairs in the medicine cupboard, I've got my medication upstairs in the medicine cupboard, I've also got medication next to my bed as well. And that has honestly made my life so much easier. If I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm in pain, I don't have to come all the way downstairs. It's just there. And that kind of goes into planning, you know. A rolling cart, or sort of like a stable table. I have stable tables and they are fantastic. Make sure they have a lip on the edge so if things go to slide off, they can get caught on the lip and don't fall on the floor. But yeah, I've seen like little trolleys for sort of ambulatory wheelchair users or people who use walking sticks or crutches or things like that. They are very handy if you're trying to take in hot food or bits and bobs from room to room. And another one someone said was they have stools and chairs everywhere. I think OTs call it furniture walking, where you sort of like walk from one chair to the next chair to the next chair and sort of hold on and sort of get around that way. And halfway through you might need to sit down, and having stools in your kitchen while you're sort of preparing things, and then like you're doing one thing and then you can sit down for a bit and then move on to the next bit. It's a very good idea. With the old smart speaker, a lot of you were saying smart bulbs. We have got smart bulbs upstairs. Adjustable bed. I've got an adjustable bed. Travel mugs and cup holders. As you know, I've got a cup holder, my Fora cup holder, which I love, and they are very handy. Grabby stick. I have a grabby stick and they're very handy, just, you know, if someone's out and you just can't reach that thing. Learning to accept help. It's hard to accept help. I totally get that. But if you can learn to accept help at the time, it will benefit you later on because you will have saved the energy. That's a hard one, trying to accept help, because you know in your mind it's quicker and easier if you do it, but it's going to cause you pain and you might suffer for it later. But yeah, it's a hard one to actually voice across, but I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. This is what I have done, is I've organised my wardrobe. I have a whole video, a wardrobe tour, so you can feel free to check that out. But in my wardrobe are only clothes that I wear, which is an absolute lie because all I'm wearing at the moment are sweatpants and hoodies. But, you know, back in the olden days, I have a winter wardrobe and a summer wardrobe, and I only put in the clothes that I wear so that I can find what I want. I'm not overwhelmed by choice, and it makes my life so much easier. Another thing that we have got is a mixer or a blender, so you can put like carrots in and it'll chop them up, or it can shred cheese and all sorts of things. And some people over on Instagram mentioned that they had like a food processor or something to help chop their vegetables. Something else that my mum does is she shreds her cheese in a food processor, like a massive batch of cheese, and then she puts it in a freezable bag. Make sure you lay it flat, and then she freezes it, and then all you have to do is just get it out, and then you can sort of like take it out and let it defrost, and then you've got cheese, shredded cheese on tap, which is heaps cheaper than having to buy already shredded cheese. That was my video on things that I have done and you have done to help make your life a little bit easier. If you have got any great little hacks, tips and tricks, please be sure to drop them down below because I would love to see them, and I'm sure that the rest of the community as well would love to see your tips and tricks. I've tried to include as many as I can. I am just talking away. Oh, it's a funny old life. If you enjoyed today's video, I think you will enjoy the extra costs disabled people face, so go and check that one out. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram and TikTok because I'm having heaps of fun over there at the moment doing lots of awareness videos, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!